Hey, welcome back to Two Stupid Guys Trade Stocks. I'm Dylan.
And I'm Vinny, and today we're going to talk about, you remember the meme stock craze? You might be able to get in early on one, again, coming up in the next couple months. I don't know. It's going to be a really fascinating little time here as Reddit makes their IPO. We're talking about it.
Two Stupid Guys Trade Stocks.
I'm really trying to struggle with, like, what's a good analogy for this? Where it's like the creator becomes the created a little bit, you know? They were the creator of the meme stock era by the WallStreetBets forum, and
Yeah.
now they potentially could be their own public entity where they could sell shares directly, and what could happen out of that? That's really fascinating.
So I don't like this. I'll tell you at the end. I think this is a bad idea. For
Okay.
Yeah, not a fan of this at all. I'll tell you at the end.
Interesting. All right. So this is a report that just came out a couple days ago. It's from Reuters. I know Dylan thinks it's pronounced Reuters, but that's because he doesn't know how to read.
Reuters.
Um, yeah, Reuters. Basically, Reddit filed it for their IPO back in like 2021, and it's been delayed multiple times. Granted, they tried to start going public at a time where valuations were starting to come down, and it was a little bit harder to raise funding. So they've delayed it, and now it looks like they might be ready to go forward with it. Is the rumor according to this article? They give a time on here. I'll talk about that in a second. But they've been eyeing it for 3 years, as they said. This would be the first social media company to come public since 2019. Kind of interesting from that standpoint. It's been
Yeah.
4 years, and that was Pinterest. That was the last one that did that. They certainly face some stiff kind of advertising competition between Amazon has grown a lot. Netflix is getting into that space. You have Meta, which is the one I own. Okay, and then TikTok is another major player, I guess, in that space. Although you can't really invest in them because it's by dance. But the real question is going to be what sort of results can they deliver with Reddit? Now, I enjoy Reddit, and I think Reddit's an interesting one from a demographic standpoint too, because it tends to be a lot of younger folks. You don't get as many older folks on Reddit, so it's a chance to have like kind of I want to say a secular trend a little bit where you're going to be enjoying the ownership there for a much longer time period. Does that make
See,
sense?
this is where I have a problem with this. But okay.
Okay,
All right.
what's that?
All right. So I don't like that this company is going public because then you have to answer to the public. I'm going to give
Yeah.
Twitter as an example. All right.
Mm.
So Twitter having to answer to public pressures would start to shut down. And Meta did this, by the way, which it came out in the Twitter files, would start to shut down certain opposing points of view, regardless of if it's
Yeah.
true, right? So
True.
Reddit is literally just all people talking in conversation format. You have your upvotes,
Mhm.
that kind of stuff. I don't like that a select minority of people can ruin a platform, and Reddit
Mhm.
will probably be next if they go public. If you are
Interesting.
public,
Okay.
you have to answer to the public.
I get that. I mean, Reddit's always kind of been a little bit unique in terms of their content moderation, I guess, because they use moderators, right? They have folks that are in each particular subreddit that have the power to set rules for that subreddit, then also to say what does and does not go on that Reddit forum. So they've probably a very unique in terms, I would think, in their content moderation compared to the Twitters and the Facebooks and the Instagrams of the world. So I wonder how that would
I
happen.
I don't think it's going to matter because, like, let's say you have a Reddit page towards this is I don't want to get in trouble here. Let's say we have a Reddit page that's directed towards the COVID being started in a lab in China, right? 2 years
Okay.
ago, that was you were shut down. You were completely an idiot, and you were spreading false lies. Now it's the dominant theory, even held by the WHO. So I don't like that you have to answer the public. Twitter went private, and now Twitter is what social media should be, just free speech.
Ooh, that's
I'll stand
uh,
with it. You
yeah.
just
I
because
don't
you
know.
disagree with someone's opinion doesn't mean that they can't say said opinion. I
I,
disagree with a lot of people. They should still be able to say it though.
no, no, no. That is true. I do wholeheartedly support that. The kind of timeline here, I guess that'll be most interesting as far as figuring out whether or not Reddit is something worth investing in, is rumored end of February, which is about a month from now, is they're going to be putting out some of their kind of initial filing stuff, where you're going to get a little bit more taste of their revenue
Yeah.
sources and like their expenses, to help you kind of like drill down and figure out what like an actual valuation of this company would be and what you'd be willing to pay for it. And then looking at an IPO actually happening by the end of March, which is 2 months from now.
Right.
There was, a couple interesting points here that I wanted to make. We talked about this being pushed back here. They're saying that they're only going to sell about 10% of their shares, keeping the majority of it private for now. There was an interesting point from ownership standpoint that I found so funny. I didn't realize Snoop Dogg is one of the owners of Reddit. Did you know that?
I did not. And Jared Leto?
Yeah. And,
I
and
did
look at
not
their
know that.
valuation. They bought in when it was like a $500 million valuation at the time. So they're looking at a 30x on their money if it goes public at this $15 billion valuation, which was the most recent quoted number for the IPO.
Yeah,
Pretty
I
crazy.
did not know that. Good for them.
Yeah.
Whoa,
Yeah.
Sam Altman?
Yep.
Talk to. Okay.
Peter
All right.
Thiel. Yeah. Yeah. I know, it's crazy to think Snoop Dogg got a 30xer here, man. Maybe he should have an investing kind of social media following.
Yeah, I mean that's pretty wild. Kobe had a couple of those too, actually.
Yeah. That's awesome. But I
All
don't
right.
know. I'd be interested to watch this thing and see once the financials come out, what sort of number maybe I would put on it. And it'll be kind of fascinating to see if potentially you see a meme craze. We saw what they did with companies like GME. I can only imagine what they would do with their own platform, or Robinhood when that came IPO too. That was probably the closest thing to this would be Robinhood when that made public, and that was pretty violent.
Yeah, it is, in my opinion, impossible to trade in the first like month or two of an IPO because there's no. It's just complete psychology. People can just get out,
Yeah.
get in, whatever they're doing. There's no support. There's no resistance. I do think that they're IPOing at kind of a rough time because the market's looking toppy, but that's
Yeah.
just
Better than
me.
last year. I'll say
Better
that.
than last year. Yeah.
Yeah. But all right, guys, let us know your thoughts are in the comments down below. I'd love to hear your thoughts.
All right. Bye.